What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 61 of the Hive Mind podcast. Be sure to check out the podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and Twitch. Just got out of the shower, so that's probably why I'm a little bit wet or more red than normal. But I recently did a bit of a foam roller routine because I got a pretty killer workout in yesterday, and I'm sore as fuck. But damn, that foam roller really is the best 20 bucks I've ever spent. If you're into lifting, dude, get a foam roller, man. That thing is, and get an aggressive one that's spiky and not very pleasant, but it makes a big difference, especially for hamstrings. Because shit, man, my shit was fucked up earlier. But yeah, Hive Mind number 61. I put out a video yesterday that I think is one of the videos that I would say that is actually important. I think it's a good watch. It's one of the best received videos I've put out in a very long time. And it's titled, I Have No Friends. And that's not a clickbait title. So I highly recommend that you check that video out if you haven't yet, especially if you're around my age, because it's one of the better videos I've put out in a long time, I think, and I'm pretty proud of it. So be sure to check that video out. That video was actually brought on by a comment on my last podcast, so when we get to the comments section, I'll end up skipping that comment or maybe addressing it a little bit. So, what's going on this week? I got a fun little story to tell, so Radford, Virginia recently got a Moe's burrito. What's the place? What are they called? Moe's. They do like Mexican food. They're known for the burritos. Yeah, Moe's Mexican Restaurant and Tex-Mex Grill. We recently got one of those. It's a franchise thing. And they had a grand opening in Radford. And for that grand opening, they were giving away free food for the entire day, whatever you wanted. Limited to one item, but I went twice. I'm not gonna lie, but so I had a bit of a hero moment. So I was waiting in line. The line was about 20 minutes, but it's free food, so I wouldn't do anything anyway. So I was waiting in line, and this little girl, had her Moe's balloon, and she accidentally let go of it. And it was up on the ceiling. The string was, too high for people to reach. So there was all these like short dudes jumping, trying to get it. They couldn't get it. These women trying to jump and get it. They couldn't get it. And here I am. This is my fucking time to shine. My superhero moment. You could hear the Nickelback. And they said that a hero. And I'm just, here it comes, baby. 6'5". And I just walk up, do a little jump, grab that fucking thing. And people are like applauding because this Moe's restaurant is full of fucking people because everybody's in there for the free food, and everybody just saw this, very courageous act of valor of me grabbing the balloon from the ceiling that no one else could reach, and it felt good, man. It feels good when you get to when you get to show off your strength, or show off your height, or do something manly, and people are like, that's right. I don't know, it feels good, man. But yeah, I got to be the hero that day, and then subsequently the villain, because I feel like a little bit of a dick that I went to Moe's, and I got the biggest, most expensive thing on the menu. And I loaded it up, like it's one of those, it's like a Subway, but for Mexican food, so you just go down the line and tell them what you want. And I was like, yep, I want a bowl with extra meat, bacon, and basically everything down the fucking line. And I did it twice. I did it for lunch and I did it for dinner. So I was the hero and the villain that day. But damn, that's some good food. I don't feel too bad because I'll probably end up spending a fortune at that place anyway. So they'll get their money back from me, I'm sure. So yeah, that was fun. Now, let's shift it over to politics. Recently this week, I think this was on, Monday? The Meryl Streep speech. Basically, more demonizing of Trump supporters, which is fucking, like, why the fuck are actors at the Golden Globes talking about Trump? Like, no one seemed to answer that question of, like, why the fuck is this being talked about in this particular venue? And then she went on to vilify people that like football and the UFC, saying that's not art. And the whole thing I thought was just fucking ridiculous. The amount of self-pity that these people have is ridiculous. And to think that they are like somehow representing the common man while they live up in their ivory towers and gated communities. It's fucking bullshit. So that whole thing just irritates the fuck out of me. And it only makes Trump look better. It only, like, people see this shit and they're just fucking sick of it. And then you've got the other news of the hashtag GoldenShowerGate was trending on Twitter, globally trending, '1 trend on Twitter, which was a fucking fake news story that was put out by, this was literally 4chan fan fiction. Some guy wrote this thing up on 4chan, sent it to a guy, essentially I can't remember who it is, but I think it's one of the mainstream media, I can't remember the organization, it was like one of the mainstream media outlets hires a guy, and his entire job is to make Trump look bad. So this guy from 4chan ends up sending this 4chan fan fetish fan fiction of Trump and all this like ridiculous shit about how he likes to get pissed on by prostitutes and shit. He sends it to this guy that gets paid to try and make Trump look bad. This guy assumes it's real, fucking publishes it, sends it to his NBC. I think it was NBC. Was it NBC? No, CNN. Sends it to CNN. Then Buzzfeed picks up on it, and all these fucking outlets are talking about Trump liking to get pissed on by prostitutes, and the whole thing is completely made up by some asshole on 4chan that is just kecking his way to the bank right now because his stupid ass fan fiction managed to make it on mainstream global news, globally trending on Twitter, and the whole thing is fucking fake. So Trump ended up going ballistic on CNN and BuzzFeed, as he should, and the whole thing is just fucked. So I've got the Trump clip here where he just goes off on these people, and I mean, can you blame him, dude? Like, they're so out to get Trump that they will publish some shit that is just ridiculous. Like, he hired, like they said he hired like 4 prostitutes to piss on him, and then they pissed on the same bed that Obama slept in Russia. Like, just fucking absurd shit. And here's the thing, dude. Donald Trump has so many skeletons in his closet that they could pick from, but yet they chase the most ridiculous shit, and it kills their credibility. So again, this is only making Trump look stronger, only making the mainstream media look weaker, and it's only making what he said more true. Like, he's been saying since day one that the media is against him, and while that may have not been true, well, I think it was true for the most part, but while that may have not been as big of a deal as he made it out to be, it's making it true. Like, it's giving him, what's the word I'm looking for? Shit. I feel like an idiot. Whatever. It's making everything he said fucking true. When they do stupid shit like that. God damn it, I hate when I can't think of a word. Giving him credibility. It's giving him credibility when the mainstream media does this. And he's been saying that it's been like this the entire time, and I don't know. It's fucking crazy. So here's the clip of that. This shit's hilarious.
I think it's a disgrace that information that was false and fake and never happened got released to the public. As far as BuzzFeed, which is a failing pile of garbage, writing it, I think they're going to suffer the consequences. They already are. And as far as CNN going out of their way to build it up, it was just reported that it wasn't this Michael Cohen they were talking about. So all night long, it's Michael Cohen. I said, I want to see your passport. He brings his passport to my office. I say, hey, wait a minute. He didn't leave the country. He wasn't out of the country. They had Michael Cohen of the Trump Organization was in Prague. It turned out to be a different Michael Cohen. It's a disgrace what took place. It's a disgrace. And I think they ought to apologize to start with. Your organization's terrible.
I fucking love
Your
it, dude.
organization's terrible. Let's go. Go ahead. Quiet. Quiet. Go ahead. She's asking a question. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question. You
Anyway, he goes on to say you are fake news. But yeah, dude, I fucking I love that. I love that our president just comes out and goes, "BuzzFeed is a failing, steaming pile of garbage." How fucking great is that? That's fucking fantastic. But this whole fake news thing is getting very interesting. So apparently, Facebook and Google, I think it was Facebook and Google, are teaming up to stop the spread of fake news on Twitter or on their websites, essentially. And this whole fake news thing is very scary to me, not because of the news itself, but because what is going to be considered fake news? Because things that were deemed to be, like, a lot of the things that people have deemed to be fake news didn't actually turn out to be fake news. So who is deciding what is fake news? And I think that no corporation should have the right to be able to decide what is real and what isn't. I think that people should be able to decide that. And yes, that will mean that there will be some ridiculous shit posted on Facebook that's completely not true. But that's going to happen on both sides, and people will need to use their fucking brains and figure it out. I don't want some Ministry of Truth situation where anything... I mean, it's quite clear that, you know, companies like Twitter have an agenda. When they go out and ban Milo and some other dude they recently banned, that Martin Shkreli guy. They go out and ban conservative fucking people with way more frequency than I can't even think of a left-leaning guy that's been banned off Twitter, but I can think of a ton of conservative people that get banned on Twitter all the time. Some of them permanently. So it's quite clear that these corporations have an agenda a lot of the times. And I really don't want them to be able to decide what is real news and what is fake news, because, again, a lot of the stuff that is fake news wasn't really fake. It's like, oh shit, Hillary Clinton really did do that. Whoops. So, anyway, that's my thing on fake news. I'd rather it just let it all go, man. No censorship of any kind. People are gonna post ridiculous shit, but let the people decide what is real and what isn't. Let them be the judge of it. I don't need a fucking corporation telling me what I should and shouldn't be able to see. What else we got here? It's probably going to be a pretty short podcast. I've been a little busy this week. Well, not really. I'm just fucking lazy. Oh, here's a fucking juicy one. Oh boy, I totally forgot about this. Nostalrius has sold out. Nostalrius is no longer supporting legacy servers. Now, the official Nostalrius realms got shut down a long time ago, but they gave their source code to Elysium, and now they have completely pulled the plug on their stance on private servers. They've come out and said they don't support them anymore, and they don't like the idea of pirate servers, and they have told Elysium, I assume, that they can no longer use the Nostalrius source code. So Elysium was building up their own source code engine. Alongside this, I'm assuming they probably saw the writing on the wall, and they knew some shit we didn't know for a long time. So they were building up their own source code engine. But essentially, if you had a Nostalrius character, you can no longer transfer it to Elysium. If you already transferred your character, you're clear. But Nostalrius has completely pulled out of legacy servers, and people are fucking pissed. Let me reddit.com/r/Nostalrius. People are fucking pissed about it too. Is Towley like, I just like to read the shit show. Is Towley behind this? Like, people are just really losing their fucking minds here. I hate that this pops up when I'm in my I'm trying to find. People were really salty yesterday. Yeah. Thank you, Viper, and thank you, Nostalrius, ... For revealing your true colors. And people just go on and on. Like, it's crazy how quick people have just turned on Nostalrius. Anyway, what I think happened is that Blizzard has finally put some legal pressure on Nostalrius, saying if you don't quit this bullshit, we're going to sue you into oblivion, Or maybe instead of, enticing them with the stick, they're enticing them with the carrot, saying, hey, we've got some opportunities over here at Blizzard if you want to play ball with us. So I think something happened, clearly, because they went from being like, fuck you, Blizzard, we're going to give our source code to some other guys over in Russia or whatever, to all of a sudden, we don't support this at all, and pulling out the rug from underneath everybody. So something happened to do with Blizzard, whether it was a threat or whether it was a honey dick, who really knows. But I do think it's hilarious to see how people went from saying Nostalrius is the greatest fucking thing of all time to fuck Nostalrius instantly. So that's funny. GameStop is down 19% in revenue compared to last year. Is this a surprise to anybody? I wonder, surely they knew the writing on the wall was going to happen for a while, and I'm curious to see what GameStop is going to transition into. Are they just going to slowly close up shop? Because anybody that knows anything about video games at all kind of knows that digital, as soon as that came out, it's going to take more and more market share. People aren't going to go to GameStop to pick up their games. So will GameStop become like the hot topic of video games and be like a video game culture kind of thing? Because I think there's a market for that, because more and more people are gamers, and there isn't really like a video game culture kind of store. So maybe they could still sell games and do more stuff like that. In a perfect world, I'd like to see the GameStops become more of a like gaming community hub thing, where it's like, yeah, this is where we do all the tournaments, and more of that kind of stuff, right? Would be good to see. I know our local Walmart is actually pretty cool. They've, I don't know if they've done this in a while, but they used to do all kinds of, they did like a Call of Duty tournament before all the new CODs would come out. They do a Madden tournament and stuff like that. And that's just at our local Walmart that those guys set up over there. So I think it's cool when people do that kind of stuff. But yeah, I remember one year when Black Ops 2 was getting ready to come out. Me and my old roommate Shane went down there and played in that Black Ops 2 tournament. And we ended up getting second place, which was not good. Because first place was you get the game. You get 2 copies of the game for free. And the big part was that you get the game early. They gave the game away a few days early, so we wanted to win. I wanted to win for, YouTube money purposes. But, yeah, we got fucking second because the people that beat us got to play the game a little bit early. So they knew about, like, the target finder cheese. So they were just head glitching with target finders, and we didn't know shit about that because they had played the game for, like, 4 fucking hours. So they had a huge advantage, but we almost still won. But, second place, first losers, we didn't get shit. But yeah, I would like to see GameStop do some more stuff like that. And sell, I don't know, maybe gaming apparel or shit like that. Who knows though? Who knows if they'll be able to survive it? Apparently, I know that for the longest time they were going to be doing mobile, like they were going to try to sell cell phones. That's hard. Sell cell phones. It's a weird thing to say. But they were going to try to do that, and I think that failed because who the fuck would buy a cell phone from GameStop? Like, that's dumb. Yeah, I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. So, yeah, anyway, let's move it on. Any other fun news this week? Oh, this was a crazy story that happened this week. So, there was a I don't even know if I can tell this story without fucking it up because it's so crazy. So, a guy and his girlfriend are walking about and living their lives, and this girl is approached by men, and these men try and rape her. To the woman, it's figured out that the woman, somebody went on Craigslist and put up an ad on Craigslist saying, hey, here's pictures of me. I'm really into rape fantasies. I want you to surprise me and, force yourself on me. This is my fantasy, and this is my safe word. So This woman and her boyfriend are walking around, or her boyfriend wasn't there, but this woman and her boyfriend, that's the setup. Living their life. The woman ends up, a guy comes over, does that. She fights him off, but she's got, bruises on her neck. She calls the police. The police get involved. They find out that her ex-girlfriend, that the guy's other girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, posted that thing on Craigslist, posted that ad, pretending to be the current girlfriend and, trying to get guys to rape her, right? That's fucking crazy, right? That's a fucking crazy story, correct? But it gets even crazier because as the investigation went on, it turned out that the actual girlfriend of the guy was trying to this is such a fucked up mess, but the actual girlfriend of the guy was trying to falsely what's the word? God, that's like the name of this podcast. The What's the Word podcast was trying to set up the other girl. So this chick was willing to actually potentially get raped to set up the other ex-girlfriend to go to jail. And she was using VPNs to spoof the other ex-girlfriends. Like, I can't even say this story without getting it fucked up, but essentially the story is girl goes all in and says, I might get raped for this, but it'll be worth it to get revenge on this ex-girlfriend. Like, how fucking... You gotta look up that story. I didn't do a very good job explaining it, but this girl ended up using VPNs and all this shit to try and spoof the ex-girlfriend's IP to make it seem like she put up the Craigslist ad, when in reality, she was the one that put up the Craigslist ad and was willing to get potentially raped to try and set this other girl up. How fucking crazy is that? So I'd recommend, you can probably just Google Yahoo Rape Fantasy Craigslist and it'll come up. But yeah, Jesus Christ. What a what a shit show that is. You got some good news. And so here's the thing. I realize that Donald Trump is not responsible for all of this, but surely he's responsible for some of it. And surely the political climate that he has brought in is responsible for a lot of this stuff happening, because a lot of this stuff was definitely sure as fuck not happening a few years ago. So here's some crazy news. Fiat is investing $1 billion into Michigan and Ohio plants, creating 2,000 jobs. Toyota is investing $10 billion in American jobs and American factories and shit. And Amazon is creating another 100,000 jobs in 18 months. So, is it Trump? I think a good bit of it is. I think a good bit of it is that these corporations are scared shitless that they're going to get all their manufacturing, they're going to have all their manufacturing overseas, and they're going to get tariffed the fuck out. They're going to get taxed to hell bringing their products into the U.S., and the U.S. is, clearly the main consumer of everything in the fucking world. So I really don't think it's a coincidence. A lot of people go, oh, all this shit was in the works forever. I don't think so, dude. I really think Trump has really scared a lot of these corporations into being like, shit, man, maybe we shouldn't go to Mexico. What if the tariffs do get hiked up? So, we got 5 more days, at least 5 more days since the recording of this podcast until Trump is in office. But holy fucking shit, has any president ever done so much? I said this in the last podcast, but he's not even president, and a lot of shit has happened. So, this next 4 years is going to be fascinating, and I think that this particular political period that we're in right now is going to be one that we look back on, whether for better or for worse. But this is definitely an important time, much more important than the Bush to Obama transition or the Clinton to Bush transition. Right now I feel like the whole world is kind of getting their own trumpeting to some degree. The UK's had it happen in a lot of their elections. The US has had it happen. Republicans and conservatives have started. Apparently, the Republican Party is more powerful now than it's ever been in like 80 years. And Germany's going to have an election, and there's a lot of people saying that shit could go either way. So, yeah, a lot of big shift recently in the political landscape worldwide as well. So, I think right now is very, I don't want to say important time, but it's going to be something we look back on, I think, and go, oh shit, remember that time when this fucking thing happened? This is when it changed, or this is when people went crazy for a while, or, whatever it might be in the 20 years, 30 years from now. So, let's move it on. I've got some, in the recently new series called Shit Zybak Finds Funny on YouTube. I've got a few videos for you this week. Here we go. The podcast has essentially killed my top 10 series. Anybody that, I only did like 5 episodes of that top 10 YouTube series, but I had a series that I did, I guess it's like close to 2 years ago, where I would find like 10 fucking awesome videos on YouTube, and I would show them, because I always find crazy shit on YouTube. I just have a knack for it. But the podcast has killed that, so, yeah, I'm not going to do 10 videos, but I got a few, so here's one of them I thought was pretty awesome.
Skirt! Hey!
It's a parking lot attendant at Chick-fil-A with 2 lightsabers, and the commentary is great.
Yes.
Dude, the best part of this video is the commentary.
To break that, my man's crushing it. Yes. Ooh! Ooh! I swear I'm gonna stop. I swear I'm gonna stop recording this dude, but dang. Oh my god! Yes! Yes! Thank you, sir. You're doing this world you're doing this world a service.
Dude, that guy's actually got some fucking skills. That fucking twirling shit he does right here is actually pretty impressive.
I swear I'm gonna stop. I swear I'm gonna stop recording this dude, but dang. Oh my god!
This shit right here. Look at that.
Yes!
I fucking love the commentary. They're like, oh, it's so good. I love videos like this. Here's another example of, people just taking their job, like, to the next level. Here's another one. Man's worst enemy, man versus dog dance battle. This guy, I guess, is a science. I think I put this video out for the YouTube top 10. But this guy is a dancing mascot, like one of the guys you'd see outside Little Caesars or something. And he takes his job fucking seriously. And this is a great video. So he goes up, random guy starts dancing, and has a spontaneous dance battle with this dog mascot. And this dog is not having it.
He's stupid. Oh, he came hard. That's a black dude in there. I think I know who that is. You look at the guy over there.
This video is from 2007.
Yeah.
But yeah, this shit escalates like pretty ridiculously.
Takes that and turns it all the way around.
But yeah, that's you get the idea. It's a fucking great video. I highly recommend you check that out. What else we got in the shopping block here? Parking. I already did the. Oh, this is a one of my. There's this. I'm a big stand-up comedy fan, and this is a joke. Unfortunately, this is kind of a long video, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth the 2 minutes. I highly recommend you check out. I think the stand-up special is on Netflix. It's David Cross. Yeah, Making America Great Again. I guess the full thing's on YouTube, and they haven't taken it down. But this is one of the best jokes from it, and yeah, it's one of those you'll go to hell for laughing at this kind of jokes. So it's 2 minutes, but I think it's worth the setup.
And another thing people often say is, why do we, in this country, why do we allow so many of our innocent kids to be shot to death? Why do we allow that as a country? Well, not us, God. Why does God... We have no control over the situation at all. It's all in God's hands. Why does God allow so many of our innocent kids to be shot to death. And, you know, I know he has mysterious ways, y'all, but dude, what is he thinking? What are you thinking, God? Taking on, and I'm not questioning you because I know you have your mysterious ways and you are omnipotent and all wise, but it just seems like you're taking an awful lot of our children. What is the thinking behind it? Wow. It is. That's something that a lot of people ask. You know, why is God
Lady
allowing
fucking
so many
leave.
of our innocent
She
kids
fucking
to be
leaves.
shot to death? And I have a possible answer, and you're not going to like it. But maybe God is allowing so many of our kids to be shot to death so that they can go to heaven, where they then service the ISIS terrorists and suicide bombers as part of the 72 virgins they're rewarded with.
That is fucking terrible. I like that the audience is howling.
It's a possibility. As I said, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in any of that stuff, but I'm sure there's some Muslims here. Sure there's some Christians. Y'all argue amongst yourselves, figure it out. I mean, keep arguing amongst yourselves. You know, for another 1,400 years or so, you'll be able to get it, I'm sure.
That second part of the joke is very clever. That 1,400 years part, that is not a random number. So Islam was founded in 600, in the year 600. So 1,400 years. You know, that was a very subtle joke that not too many people probably got. So that was, I like jokes like that where it's like, ooh, he went there. I know that some people probably won't find that funny at all, but I don't know. I always find that stuff kind of fascinating. So anyway, let's full screen this bitch. Let's move on to the comments. I think that's all I want to hit on this week. I'm just making sure here. Yeah, all this other stuff is bullshit on my list here. Yeah, it's all bullshit. Let's get to the comments. Let's sort by newest here. I've already got them pulled up because that's how prepared I am. What kind of monitor do you have? And I responded, Acer Predator, 144 hertz, 24-inch monitor. That's what I've got. It's either the 23 or the 24-inch one. I can't remember which one. I think it might be 24. I don't play Nostalrius because I don't want to suck Vanilla's dick. I play it because it's more challenging, rewarding, and social than live WoW. I don't know about more challenging. I guess in some ways it is. More rewarding. I can see that. And more social. Absolutely. Will Crowfall be a game that you can know life? Not as Zybak in general. I haven't watched a lot of your streams or videos, but you talk about the progress system and it's time-based. Essentially, this guy's asking if Crowfall will be a game that you can really dump yourself into and play for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I think that Crowfall is in a unique situation because it can be both a game that you play relatively casually and don't feel bad about playing casually, and a game that you can know life. So here's the thing with Crowfall. Crowfall has a time-gated skill system like EVE Online. If I want to become a better blacksmith, I go and I click on a menu and I train my blacksmithing skills via a time-based progression system. And I say, hey, I want to train my blacksmithing, click here to train, and you train it. And it takes, I don't know, a few days to a week or whatever it takes to train that particular skill. And all of the skills are trained that way through time. There is no active make 50 iron daggers to get, one level of blacksmithing to go up. There's none of that. So what that means is that you can play the game the way you want to play. You're not forced to play the game in the most efficient way possible. You're not creating, 600 fucking, Jesus Christ. What the fuck is going on out there? Anyway, what I'm trying to say is you don't have to play the game. You're not a slave to the skill system because you get the skills passively, and everyone gets the skills passively over time. So that's where the game is more casual friendly, because you can play the game you want to play it, and you don't have a statistical disadvantage for not no-lifing the game. Because typically in MMOs, the guys that play the most have the highest skills because they're the ones that can create 5 billion fucking daggers and get their skills up faster than anybody else. They're the ones that can grind and kill the most mobs and get the most XP or whatever. So that's not a thing in Crowfall. However, Crowfall will be a game that you can no-life, and being a no-lifer on Crowfall is absolutely going to give you an advantage because Crowfall is a game about resources, and the more you play the game, the more resources you're going to get. So playing the game a lot will absolutely net you an advantage. But not playing, you're not going to feel bad about not playing the game either, because you're not going to be at a statistical disadvantage. You're just going to be at a resource disadvantage. And Crowfall is also a game where if you're a smart player, you can make the most for your time. And there will be people that no-life the game that don't have anywhere near the influence, power, and resources of the smarter people that play the game casually, but they're just smarter. It's a social sandbox MMO where your interactions with other players are going to determine your success. So clearly, the skill cap and the skill gap in that social element is way higher than an MMO like WoW, where it's gated behind, weekly resets and artifact power and shit like that, right? So that's my rant on Crowfall. If at any point you're interested in Crowfall, be sure to sign up with the link down below. You get into the beta for free, as well as getting 5% off on anything you do decide to buy. So there's my sellout, but that link is down there in the description if you're interested. A lot of people sign up with that link. It's fucking crazy. So, moving on. Dude, is it just me, or is Zybak slowly drifting away from gaming? And, no, I absolutely am. For now. I do not want this channel to become the fucking fitness vlog channel. God damn it, because I've seen that happen to so many gaming channels where they get into fitness and they become like the fitness channel that does like douchey fucking vlogs. I really don't want to become that. But I'm just not playing that many games right now. And I feel like the podcast isn't too douchey. And I try to keep the fitness shit to a minimum because I know a lot of people don't give a fuck, including me when I watch some other YouTubers that I usually watch for gaming that now do some of these douchey fitness things. But yeah, no, for right now, I have been focusing on the podcast. Well, it's not that I've been focusing on it, it's just that that's kind of the only thing I've been doing. But I promise this channel will be a gaming variety channel like it's always been. When Crowfall comes out, it'll probably be very Crowfall heavy, but it won't be Crowfall exclusive by any means. You'll still see retarded videos like how to make the best sandwich in the world and eating a cheeseburger and whatever fucking dumbass video I decide to put out. It'll still be there. Moving on. Some of these comments are very long. Great answer, thanks, mate. Another note. This is not really... If you reach your financial goals, not having to work despite doing it, and the dopest MMO of all times comes out with your future, whatever, blah, 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 would you be interested? You can take... this comment is off the fucking rails here. It's the dopest MMO of all times, with future technology available in 20, 30 years. You can take a guess here as well. Future. This comment is fucking crazy. This guy is asking. Okay, here's the base question. Essentially, this guy is asking if I became financially independent and I got to the point where I don't need a job, which is the goal by the time I'm in my 40s, would I ever go back to doing gaming full time and that shit? I mean, maybe. The whole reason I want to become financially independent is so I can pursue the things that I want to pursue with the time, resources, and wisdom to be able to do it efficiently. So if, for example, in my 40s and I do want to know life in MMO again and, be a pro gamer again in my 40s, sure. That might be something I do. That's the whole reason I'm sacrificing as much as I am to get to that point. So yeah, that absolutely could be a thing, but I wouldn't count on it because I've kind of been enjoying the real life, being a normie. But if a game comes out that is that, that authentic, 12-year-old first high, that first hit of, meth that World of Warcraft was, then yeah, I could see myself doing that. I have no shame in it. The only thing that truly matters is if you're The only thing that matters is if you're truly satisfied with your life. True fans will understand the lack of videos. Yeah, I get that. I get that most people don't give a fuck if I don't upload videos, but I feel bad when my channel is like, it's just the fucking podcast now and off-topic videos, which I think a lot of people are liking. But I want to get some gaming shit back in here. So rip the Zybak microwave. At least he has chicken. Gotta get that vlog money. And I responded, making money on YouTube ads in 2017. Lol. God, is that the fucking truth? Funny how the bigoted side only comes out after Trump's rise. Don't go getting emboldened by Trump's win, you bigoted, ugly, balding fuck. This is a classic example of fucking the left demonizing anyone that doesn't agree with what they say completely, to the point where this guy thinks I'm actually a Trump supporter. I support Trump because I don't actually support Trump. I support what Trump has done for the system. That's probably the most accurate way. I like that this fucking crazy guy, this crazy orange guy, has shaken the political world, the whole world, not just the U.S., but this whole trumpeting is happening across many countries where people are like, yeah, fuck this shit, fuck the way we've been doing it. Let's get some people that are radically different in here to do something radically different, for better or for worse. So, yeah, I fucking like that our president goes out and calls Buzzfeed a failing pile of garbage, because I agree. Fuck Buzzfeed. Fuck that shit that they pulled with Trump. They can fuck off. So, yeah. But, again, the demonization, calling me... When you go out and call everyone a bigot that disagrees with you, like, that's why you lose. Like, that's why you're fucking losing. That's why you lost. That's why it's fucking happened, dude. Fuck. Moving on. Might as well hang it up for a good MMO. They all suck. You get hyped for the new ones and they die shortly after. Yeah, dude, MMOs just suck dick right now. Something that would be hilarious and sad to see. Something about the heart attack. Dude, sorry, guys. I have to read some of these comments. Man, you guys really... Some of your sentence structures are fucking off... Are crazy. I realize it's a YouTube comment, but it makes it hard for me to read this thing and get to what the root question is here. This guy... Okay, this guy basically his comment was, aren't you gonna be pissed if you die early when you're planning out for your future this far in advance? And my response is, today could be my last day. However, not planning for the future and only living in the moment is very irresponsible. So basically, this guy is saying, live for today because you might die, which is fair enough and is true. But statistically, I'm probably not gonna die before I'm 40. I could, but it's probably not gonna happen. So, yeah, I'm gonna plan for the future because the amount of sacrifice I have to make to get to where I want to get to, while it seems like sacrificing as much as I'm gonna have to sacrifice for a decade, plus is that's a huge sacrifice, right? But it's gonna pay off because if it works out, which mathematically it should, if you consider economic growth from 1860 to now and you average it, the math is there and the math makes sense. Yeah, it's gonna be a kind of not as fun, not as crazy, not No fancy cars or big vacations or, things like that for 15 years. But then I'm in my 40s and I can just unplug. I'm on cruise control, baby. I've got freedom. I've got, I sacrifice for 10 to 15 years and I gain decades of freedom. And I'm not doing this to be, rich and have a big house and a big car and go to the clubs and make bottles pop and shit. No, this is all about freedom, all about less stress. So, yeah, I could die at age 39 and some other motherfuckers in my family get all the shit that I worked up for. That could happen, but whatever. You got to live your fucking life. Netflix has just added a TV show I might like. Okay. Moving on. I like both solo and duo. Solo is definitely getting better, okay? Glad you like the podcast. I should get into CSGO. And I'm not into CSGO. I like more arcadey kind of shooters like Overwatch and Titanfall and COD and that kind of shit. I should try out Revelations when it's out. Is that the top-down MMO? Is it? Let's look it up real quick. Revelations MMO. Is this the top-down one? No, it's not. Huh. Oh, it's fucking Asian. Fuck. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna check that shit out. Yeah, probably not gonna do that. I should shave my neck beard. Yeah, dude, I get really lazy when it comes to shaving on the weekends. I record these podcasts on Sunday, and I only work Monday through Thursday. So unless I've got to do some sort of social event on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, I don't fucking bother. So I'm full-blown neck beard right now. This is maximum neck beard. Because on Monday I shave and I have to look respectable. Apparently it's good for your face to do that, to not shave every day and give your face some time to heal before you attack it with the razor again. Moving on. If you get bored, you should give Paladins a try. I've got hundreds of hours in Overwatch, and I hate to say that I like Paladins more. Doesn't nobody play Paladins? I remember seeing some screenshot where they had 50 players total on for the entire day. I don't know, dude. That game came out at a fucking terrible time, man. If that game would have come out, 2 years after Overwatch, or maybe some people kind of got burned out on Overwatch before releasing, because I'm sure they're different. I'm sure they're similar games, but, different enough to where the people that got burned out on Overwatch would at least try Paladins. But, man, they released it at the worst fucking time. Because, Overwatch is a great game, and it's going to take people at least a year to get burned out on Overwatch, in my opinion. So, yeah, dude, it's tough. It's tough out there for the MOBA shooters, for the hero-based shooters, with Overwatch being as awesome as it is. Great episode. Not having kids, investing and making money sounds like a sound plan. And you might not want kids now or in the near future or in the far future, but one day you will meet a very nice and sweet girl that will do everything for you, and you'll feel like you do everything for her as well. Having kids with the love of your life is something you will grow into. It's not something that boys dream of. And then when you meet that, okay, oh my God. Moving on, you have all the money and a huge irreversible hole in your life. Basically saying, Jesus, this is a long comment. Oh my God. Okay, so the crux of this comment is basically saying, I'm going to regret my decisions that I've made. Going to regret the decisions I've made. Basically saying I'm going to regret my vasectomy because I will meet the love of my life and want to have kids with that person. So, here's my stance on it. That is a somewhat likely outcome. I would say at this point I'm very jaded and almost ruined because I've seen divorce. I've seen people. I've seen my online friends go through divorce and get raped by the family courts. I have seen really a lot of the worst, and I've seen the statistics. And the statistics aren't good. They aren't fucking good at all. More than half of people get divorced. And then you get married again, and the chances get lower and lower and lower and lower. Yes, I might meet that person that is the shit. But it's far more likely that I'm just like everybody else, and my marriage fucking fails, and everything goes to shit eventually with time, as it does in most things. And I would rather regret not having a kid than having a kid and regretting it. And I am of the belief that people change. That whole love of your life thing, that's a real minority in most people. People really change a lot as they get older. And divorce, in my opinion, is not something that is really a bad thing. I mean, the way the family courts handle it is absolutely a terrible thing. But the act of two people saying, hey, this shit's, we're fucking different people than we were when we were in our 20s. That's completely normal. And it's a real testament to, there's probably a lot of people with grandparents that have been married for, 50 plus years, right? That is impressive because the person that they married is not the person that they're currently married to. That just shows you how impressive, those two individuals are to be able to rough it out, because you have to evolve and change with that person, and sometimes the changes are, what's the word? Fuck! That's the name of this podcast. They are, what's the word? Where you just don't change on it. People fucking change. That's what I'm trying to say. And I've seen it happen in my fucking life. You can go back and look at my older YouTube videos and see how much I've changed in just 5 years. From the when I started doing YouTube in 2010 to 2017, which we're at now, I'm so fucking different. I am so fucking different. And, I can't imagine over a, 10, 15 year, 20 year marriage, people change a fucking lot. So, no, I don't, I just don't buy into that fairy tale bullshit. I'm sure I'll meet a fucking fantastic woman, and it'll be great for a while, and then we'll change. And, we'll go our separate ways. That's the most likely scenario, which is why I don't plan on getting married either. Sure, I might have some long-term relationships, but statistically, and I mean, I know this is a fucking cold way of looking at it, but statistically, it's most likely not going to work out in the long term. We're not going to be fucking growing old together. It's just not going to happen, because I'm in my 20s, you're in your 20s, I'm going to go this way, you're going to go that way, most likely, and we're going to grow up, and things are going to change. So, yeah, that's where we're at. I was in the same boat as you a month ago, played WoW through PC and got bored, finally hit Diamond and Overwatch, got a little bit of COD, this guy's giving his gaming life story. Don't know, there's always something, okay, that's not really a comment, that's not really like a comment I can address, I don't think. Why don't I go back to World of Winks? That's an old school fan there. It's a throwback video, World of Winks. If you don't know what I'm talking about, YouTube search Zybak returns to WoW, and there's a video that is one of the best things I've put out. I was on Adderall, had me fucked up and so paranoid. What happened to Guild Wars 2? I don't hear about it anymore. Yeah, Guild Wars 2, man, it's a good game, but it's just there's not enough to keep me satiated. It's a very casual game. The PvE is very easy, and the PvP is pretty non-existent, although I've heard they've been making improvements to the PvP. But I don't think the downstate has gone away. I heard they nerfed the downstate pretty severely since launch, and it's not as fucking ridiculous as it used to be. But that shit fucking killed it for me, PvP-wise. So yeah, and I was never really that into Guild Wars 2. I did play Guild Wars 2 for a while during the launch hype, but I was never into it like I was into SWTOR or WildStar by any means. Some guys have fake weights, bro. No, those are all real, dude. I actually ended up buying some more weights. I don't know if it'll... Oh, you can't see my stack of 25s. Can you? Oh, I've got this heater in the way. Hot. Yeah, there we go. You see that stack of, fuck. Oh, I'm in the way still. I'm gonna have to lift the webcam up. Yeah, I got a stack of 25s right there. Got 8 of them bitches. So I should be set on dumbbells for a while. So I've got dumbbells. I believe I can get up to 150 plus pounds with each dumbbell. I've got enough weights to do that, which should be enough for a while. I do dumbbell deadlifts, which I go relatively heavy on. So I've got some growing. I've got to grow into those quite a bit before I start doing dumbbell deadlifts with 200-pound dumbbells in each hand. Very, very far away from that, but yeah, dude, I highly recommend that you anybody that wants to get into lifting, or anybody that is into lifting, man, get your own set of dumbbells and get the dumbbells where you can screw the I mean, if you're fucking loaded and you have a lot of space, then yeah, it'd be cool to have a whole dumbbell set where you've got 5 pounds all the way up to 200 pounds. Yeah, that'd be great if we were all made of money and had a place to store it. But if you're like me and you don't want to spend a lot of money and don't have a lot of space, get the dumbbells where you can screw the plates off and screw them back on, and make your own dumbbells for whatever weight you need to do. One of the best things I bought, I think I got all that shit. I think all that weight, all those those 2 dumbbells and all those plates were probably like $200, which sounds like, and that's just me guessing. I think all of them combined were probably like $200, but I bought them slowly over time because I didn't need as many plates when I first started, but now I had to start buying some 25 pounders because your boy's getting some gains now, man. But yeah, dude, I think I spent like $200 on all those plates combined with the dumbbells. Very good value. It's really nice to have your own set because you don't have, I can work out from home and I don't have somebody like going, how long are you going to be using the 45s for, dog? There's only one set. So I can, do as many sets as I want and do them at my leisure. So I highly recommend that. Have I tried H1Z1 King of the Hill? I have not. I'm not really into the survival games, really. But Crowfall is kind of a survival game, but it's an MMO with some survival aspects, but it's not anywhere near the survival game that those games are. It's definitely more of an MMO. I missed the train from the old videos. Yeah, dude, I like the resurgence of old school Zybak viewers. Yeah, that train was I guess the train was probably mid-school Zybak. That wasn't quite old school. Old school was like 2010. Old school is fucking Zybak is hiring, maybe. That's fucking old school. God, dude, I fucking hate my old videos so much. I fucking hate them so much. I really wonder, I don't think I'm going to hate my current videos like 5 years from now as much as I hate my videos that I think the videos I make now will stand the test of time more than my old videos did, because my old videos were just terrible and I'm like a 15-year-old that has no idea what he's talking about. But I still think I'm going to hate like that video that I have no friends video I put out that I'm pretty proud of right now. I'm sure I will absolutely hate it a year from now. I'm certain, because that's what always happens. But yeah, this guy likes the remember the old train vids. I actually live by the same train track because I moved back to Radford. I actually live by the same train track. My old apartments that I used to live at were essentially just over there a few miles. But for whatever reason, the train doesn't sound the horn over here. It's not as loud. But that train is still there. Zybak, another comment getting to CSGO. Power of the Primal Matrix looks pretty good. Yeah, there's new WildStar updates apparently coming out with some more skill progression. There's like a new skill progression that is similar to Path of Exile, it seems like, where you've got a crazy grid and all these different ways you can go. I'm sure that's going to fuck the balance of the game completely, but I think it's pretty cool. I'm glad that WildStar is still getting updated, because let's be honest, I can't believe WildStar is still around, man. That game really fell off hard. Really fucking hard. So I'm glad it's still around, and I want to see them do well, and maybe I'll go back to it. But It's rough out there for fucking WildStar, man. But it was a fun game. I don't regret playing it. I had a fucking blast playing it. It's probably one of the MMOs I've had the most fun playing. I think I had more fun playing WildStar at launch than any other MMO I've ever played. Being part of that, Razor's Edge world first progression race was a really cool thing. That was really fun to be in that environment with those players. To be able to say in my 40-man raid that every single player was good, that's a crazy experience. That's an experience that not many people can say, even the people that played Vanilla WoW, because in Vanilla WoW, a lot of the 40-man raids, you had some people that were getting carried, flat out. But WildStar was tuned in such a way to where you couldn't get carried, man. We were barely killing those bosses, man. And everybody was good. Like, if you go look at, I can't remember the name of it. The WildStar boss where you kill waves of ads up until the end, and then you kill the ads, then you burn the boss to like 20. You burn the boss 20%. It goes on to the next phase. You kill the ads, you burn the boss. You kill the ads, you burn the boss, and then the final phase is like the DPS race at the end where you finally kill the last 20% of the boss, and it's that long hallway. I can't remember the name of it, but man, when we got the world first on that was so tight. Like, we got it. It was such a close kill that the boss's health didn't even update. Like, the boss's health didn't even update. He just fucking poof died. And everybody, I mean, the DPS meters were just neck and neck on like all these fights that we were barely killing. And man, it was fun to be able to say that, we got world first on those fights, and they weren't bullshit fights like the old school WoW 40-man fights where, they were mechanically hard, and it was cool to be a part of that shit, man. That was a good time, man. I really had a good time with WildStar. Moving on. It is possible that the media only focuses on stories. So this guy's his comment is essentially saying that radical Islam is not that much of a problem. It's that the media got it out for radical Islam, and the media only publishes the stories where radical Islamic terrorists blow shit up, and not the other people. And my response is, no, not really. They're kind of the only ones really doing it. And his response to that is, there's tons of people killing each other. For example, look at the gangs. And my response to that was, the difference is that nobody is saying that the Bloods and the Crips are organizations of peace that are wrongly persecuted. Islam, and I put in parentheses, and most religions, particularly Islam, is fucking cancer, and so are gangs. So that's the big thing with Islam, and why I don't like most religions, but Islam in particular is very problematic because they just... Okay, so I have to give Islam some credit because at least the fucking... How do I want to word this? At least at least they practice what they preach, right? Their book says to fucking kill the infidels. Kill the infidels. It says that. They actually do it. They actually fucking do it. Whereas Christians will be like, treat your fellow man the way you want to be treated, and all this like virtuous shit that the Bible says that no one does. No one fucking does it. That Christian that goes to church every Sunday will turn over and fuck that other guy's wife the first chance he gets. Christians are the fakest motherfuckers of all time. At least the Muslims, at least they're fucking legit. They actually do the shit. So, yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. But, here's the thing. Do you ever find... Is there any other group of people that is responsible for remotely anywhere close to the amount of destruction that particular religion is responsible for? It's crazy. And yeah, I realize it's not everybody, but holy shit, man, you can't ignore it. You can't just be like, la 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 la, it's definitely not them doing it every fucking time, all the time, no matter what, it's always fucking them. And And I think his argument really works against him. Because in countries like Sweden and, I think it was Germany and Sweden, they're actively covering up the shit. You know, trying not to make it as big of a deal as it is with the crazy amounts of rapes and, you know, just hate crimes that's going on. So, yeah, it's fucking tough out there, dude. It's fucking tough. God bless the Atlantic Ocean, man. That's all I gotta say. God bless the Atlantic Ocean. I wouldn't want to live in Germany or Sweden. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. I was burned out listening to U.S. politics and the Zybak diet. I'm glad these weren't brought up. Well, this podcast, you probably fucking hate it. You probably hate this podcast because we talk about that a lot. Giving up multiplayer gaming for the time being. Nothing interests me. However, there's a lot of great things for... Yeah, there's a ton. If you're a single player kind of guy, dude, there's a lot of great games out. There's single player games. Well, I know I'm in a privileged position because I own both consoles, which I never fucking play really. But I recently played Uncharted 4. That was a fucking great game. There's tons of great console and PC single player games out right now, man. It really is. It's great. Some guys asking about the Eternal Kingdoms in Crowfall. I don't think the Eternal Kingdoms are going to be a big part of the game. I think it's going to be a glorified trophy room. I think the Eternal Kingdom is kind of a stupid-ass concept. Like, I like Crowfall, I like what they're doing, but that whole part of the game, which is a very minor part of the game, seems very forced. Here's the thing. So they want... God damn, I'm burping. So Crowfall wants some sort of persistence, right? Because the worlds get blown up. Your character, when your character dies, you lose your gear. And that big tall tower you built in that campaign world, eventually, even if you successfully defend it the entire campaign, when the campaign ends, and you win, it's gonna go away. So there's not much persistence in Crowfall outside of your crow and your crow skills that is permanent. So they wanted to have the Eternal Kingdom where after every campaign you bring back your resources and you put them in your essentially player housing and you build that up slowly over time, right? And that's what the Eternal Kingdom is. It's essentially a glorified trophy room, and I don't even think it's a necessary part of the game, but whatever. It's there, and I'll probably fuck around with my little housing plot thing, but I'm not very hyped up for that part of the game by any means. I'm all about the campaign worlds, baby. What games did I play before WoW? I played a lot of RuneScape, RuneScape Classic. Well, it was just called RuneScape back then. But yeah, I played that. That was my first real MMO. And that was that was the game that, I would say that's the game that got me hooked, but that's the game that got me really interested in gaming. Because before RuneScape, well, I guess I was playing RuneScape when I was like 10, right? I was still into athletics, so I was a casual gamer. But RuneScape was a fun time. Just the social experience, like the game itself was not that great. But like just being able to talk to other players and run around this world and do things as simple and as boring as they might have been was fun. And then World of Warcraft came out, and holy shit, that changed the fucking game for me. That was the game that turned me into a gamer. Because up until then, I was all about sports. And at age 12, man, WoW came out, and I was still really into sports for the next 2 years. I played vanilla WoW pretty casually, but once I got to about 15 or 16, and I really started getting into WoW, that's when it changed, man. That's when I became a real fucking gamer. Here's the comment about needing camaraderie in my life. Again, I addressed that in a whole separate video, so check out that video, the I Have No Friends video. One of the best videos I've made in a while. So, I'm not even going to go into that. Some guy says, PvP in Arcade is legit. Playing it myself and having a blast. Yeah, I just heard so much bad shit about that game. Especially the Crowfall guild I'm in, they used to play that game, and I think they all stopped because they went pay to win and got a little retarded. Some guy try Peaky Blinders on Netflix. Yeah, I actually have that on my list. I have so many things on my Netflix list that I haven't watched. I've been watching more Netflix, but I can't fucking catch up to save my life. They just keep adding new shit that's amazing. Netflix is the shit, man. I don't know how people can hate on Netflix. Like, there's people that say like, "Oh, I'm canceled Netflix a long time ago. It turned to shit." I don't know, dude. Those people are crazy to me. I can't watch anywhere close. Like, I spend more time watching the Netflix originals than anything else, and I'm way behind. My list is full of shit that I'll never end up getting to. Do you think Star Citizen is gonna bomb? I said yes. Is the game actually going to release? I haven't heard anything for a while. That's a good question. That shit's fucking never gonna come out. Crowfall's gonna have a full game development cycle. Crowfall will have... Jesus, dude. They've been working on shit for so fucking long, dude. Oh, what a disaster. People are talking about downranking in the Burning Crusade. Yeah, I think downranking was removed in Wrath, but nobody was using downranked skills anymore after BC, except for Frost Mages. This guy's saying in Frost Mages and Wrath of the Lich King, you could have a 0.2 second Frostbolt, and it would still apply the debuff to the slow debuff. Yeah, I think I remember that. Intolerant Corgi hater. Killed a microwave. Will I ever make a workout/diet video? It's been some time since you've talked about it. So I don't want to make a I don't want to make a diet or a transformation video. That'll be the first thing I make is the cheesy. Well, I'm gonna try to make it not cheesy, but the first thing I'm gonna do is do the transformation video where I show, I take the shirt off and show you guys where I'm at. That is probably sooner rather than later. I don't have too much left to lose. I still have a little bit of belly fat, but I don't have any fat anywhere else, so I think that's gonna be coming off here fairly soon. But yeah, no, that'll be the first thing I do. But I definitely don't want to turn this channel into some douchey fitness vlog channel, as I talked about earlier. I definitely don't want to do that. So yes, I will be doing some of that. But again, this will be a variety channel. But I do think I have some legitimately good advice and tips and tricks when it comes to losing weight and putting on muscle and stuff that I have accrued over the past over a year. I've been really watching a lot of like YouTube fitness videos and stuff, and really getting kind of deep into it. Not that I'm taking it super seriously myself, but that I just want to get as much information as possible. And I've been trying out new things, and some things have worked for me, some things haven't. So I think I've got some good advice to give. But again, it's a practice what you preach kind of thing. I want to look like I actually do the things I'm talking about. So I've got a little bit left to go. Why don't I stream the podcast live on Twitch? My response to this is I think the podcast would get even more disjointed than it is already. Like right now it's a fucking disaster with me going off topic and forgetting stuff, and particularly this episode where it's been the what's that word? Duh, and I can't think of it. So yeah. It would be even worse with interjections from Twitch chat where I'd be on a topic and somebody would bring up something in Twitch chat and I'd go off about that. I think it would just make the viewing experience or the listening experience worse for the majority of people that listen to it after the fact, because the thing is I don't have a big Twitch audience. So most people listen on SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, whatever, after the fact. Do I watch Sherlock? Nope, have not seen Sherlock. Again, that's another show on my queue that I will never get to because I just have so much shit on there. And last comment, why don't I play Legion? It's fun as fuck. And I respond that I'm burned out on WoW. It's gotten very formulaic and lost all the mystery and excitement, which I talked about a lot on the previous podcast. But yeah, no, I liked Legion though. I thought it was a good expansion. But I think I'm just burned out on WoW. I might try out the next WoW expansion that comes out if I'm not loving Crowfall, which I think I will. But even if the next expansion comes out and it's even better than Legion, I'm sure it will be very temporary for me. Because I'm burned out in the formula that is World of Warcraft. I'm burned out on the game. Yeah, unless something dramatically changes the game and it's way different in the next expansion, which it won't be. Yeah, I think I'm just burned out. I think I'm done for the most part. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for the comments this week. I hope you guys enjoyed Hive Mind number 61. No idea how long this podcast is because I restarted it at one point because I was fucking up even worse than I did previously throughout this. Yeah, that's not the best one. I know I've said that before, and people liked some of the ones I thought were terrible, but I think this one is legitimately kind of terrible. So I appreciate you guys that hung in there. Be sure to check out the podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and Twitch. Be sure to check out my I Have No Friends video. It's one of the best videos I've put out in a while. Also, be sure to sign up for Crowfall using the link down below. You get into the beta for free, as well as getting 5% off if you use the link down below. I got to sell out while I can. And be sure to enable YouTube notifications if you're subscribed. Click on the bell, enable notifications. That way you get my stuff more frequently. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy the podcast, and I'll see you again next week. Have a good one.